Oh, hi.
Hey Jolie, how's it going?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Let me do. I'm gonna share my screen on Discord, and then you can watch that as we go over things.
Okay, awesome.
I sent you the notes that earlier that I took. Did you have any questions that you want to ask about before we get started, or should we just go right into it?
I think we can go right into it.
Okay, sounds good. Um,
I'll try, but
can you hear the audio by any chance?
I don't hear anything in the
yeah.
background, just your voice.
Okay. I think because I'm sharing like
Okay.
the screen, it doesn't pick up the audio. Audio is not going to be too big of
I
an
don't
issue though.
know.
I just want to
I
kind of have
usually
this
like
for
to play A first,
reference so
but
we know what we're talking about.
it's cool. I know.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
So kind of the big things that stuck out to me
Yeah.
is like I think the biggest thing that will benefit you the most, like if you practice, is going to be crosshair placement. Like there's a lot of times where your crosshair is out of position or it's not at head level. I think that's getting that down alone will give you
Yeah,
a
I bought my
huge
wall,
boost
so I
to
can.
like when you take
If we
fights or
clear
when
the
you're holding
site
angles.
or clear U-Haul, we can. I can put them
Okay,
on.
yeah,
Um,
I noticed sometimes, as you said, I was pointing it at the wall.
yeah, so like right here,
I
like you
didn't buy
have
it.
it's like up in the wall. Like there's not going to be an enemy popping under your crosshair there at any point. Like over here too, it's like you say
Can
like
someone
here
check
is like
in
can get a little
U-Haul?
bit better, but
Yeah,
you want to
I'm
always try
gonna.
to have your
Well,
crosshair where the opponent is going to appear next. Um,
Okay.
a consistent issue that I saw is right here. You don't fully clear that right corner.
someone
Um,
TP.
and that'll get you killed a lot. It's something a lot of people like even up into Diamond and Immortal people don't clear their corners properly, and it gets them killed all the time. So
Okay.
just try to make sure every time you're going around a corner,
Oh, fuck.
you fully clear it. I'm assuming for this brim, I don't know if like that was you didn't realize that was an opponent because there was a
Oh, fuck.
indicator of one of your teammates behind them.
I think I assumed, I don't know why I didn't see
Someone
him, but I
TP.
noticed right when I started shooting him, that's when I realized he was an opponent.
Okay, yeah, because like right here, it kind of looks like there's the crosshairs right over him, or like the like indicator
Yeah,
for
I'm
one of
just
your
telling
teammates.
myself, okay, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Um, it's like a couple of the other notes I had taken there.
Someone
As you're coming up
TP.
here, like you're pushing into new territory. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna change my push to talk button because I keep hitting go back.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So like you're coming up to this angle here, right? And you're pushing into new territory, and like you're doing okay there. Right there when you pull that out is you're not ready to shoot an opponent, right? So you
Someone
continue
TP.
pushing, and that brim's right there. So like if he was looking at you, you wouldn't have been able to react. You would have had to pull out your gun before you can actually do anything. And then on top of that, he doesn't know you're there. You place that, which creates like he can hear that. So he should have heard that and immediately known that there was someone like in bathrooms, and he should have spun around and seen you were there. Um, so being aware of like what makes noise and what doesn't make noise is something to get down. There's like a couple videos that go over like different things that make noise. It's basically like, most abilities make noise. Picking up or swapping or like picking up weapons off the ground makes noise. Reloading makes noise. Things like that.
Okay.
Um, once you're out here, like I feel like you were like nice and sneaky, and you got out here without anybody noticing, and you went to like go to take this kill, right? You had like a lot of time where you could have just gotten the crosshair right over top of his head and then
Oh,
had a
fuck.
nice quick kill.
Oh, okay. Like aim it right away.
Yep, you always want to try and get headshots. Like always go for them because especially once you have rifles, it's usually going to be a one-hit kill. Um, it's like that's that your goal should always be trying to get headshots, and that like a big part of that is like your crosshair placement plays into that a lot.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Let's see, what else did I have? I think that was pretty much all the notes I had for this round. Crosshair placement, have your gun out when you're pushing into new territory, go for headshots, and clear corners. And then here it's like you're kind of in a rough position, like, because you only have one teammate who can't really support you. I don't think there's anything you really could have done in that case. It was just like a situation where they know where you are, you can't really get out into a different location, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Going on to round 2.
Yeah, I got it. I don't know.
I think I'd mark down like just getting out of spawn a little late, which isn't really a huge deal, but it does give them extra time to push out and like take hold of more territory than they normally can at the start.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I feel like we were undecisive and I didn't know what to do. Like I wanted to follow the bomb, so I was waiting for them.
Right, and I think that kind of like how you said you were kind of into like the team was indecisive. Like that kind of shows throughout a lot of the rounds. Like a lot of times it's like you have clear opportunities. Like there was one round later where you knew that they had all rotated over to A, but you all knew that and you like called it out and you started to work your way there. But it was like a full 20 or so seconds before you actually like pushed onto site. So it's like I think having the like a little bit more decisiveness, and especially if you're aware of like an opportunity, don't hesitate to call that out and get your team to like move a little faster.
Okay, I think it's just not trusting myself.
I can appreciate that sentiment. My cat is currently trying to walk across my keyboard.
Aw.
So. I think round 2, you didn't fully clear the right corner here again. And then also because we got to here late, he would have had time to push up into like either of these 2 corners here. Like he could have been on the right or the left there. So you like that's just like another case of like you just make sure you're like clearing your corners.
And then yeah, he was waiting for me.
Yep. I think so. How familiar are you with like how angles work in this game, and peeking angles and stuff?
I think I'm still trying to learn. Like if you notice, I'm always slow walking around the angles, but I heard you're supposed to stutter step, so I'm trying to learn that right now.
Yep. So there is let me pull this up quick. Sorry, I thought I had this up already. So it depends. There's a couple videos I can send you on like how angles work and how you like different ways of pushing them and holding them and all that. Generally, when you're like holding or not holding, when you're pushing angles that they're like closer. You don't want to slow walk them just because they're going to be watching that angle, and you don't want to give them the opportunity to like
just sucking my city dry.
to
my ultimate is ready.
click your head as you're walking around the corner, right? You want to take it a little bit faster. Either that or you want... Oh god. I'm going to be throwing a lot of cages because that's on the push to talk key now.
I think for me, it's like, do I want them to hear me first or see me first? And I kind of get confused which one to do.
Right. So when you come slow walking around the corner, right? He's going to be... I'm going to be throwing a lot of cages. So he's standing right here, right? And he's just holding this. He's waiting for you to come around this corner. So if you slow walk around, you're going to walk right into his crosshair, and all he's just got to do is click. But if you're here... And if you want to gain info, you're just gonna jiggle peek, right? So if he's there, and you just kind of peek around this corner, pop back into safety, you're gonna see the question mark pop up on your map there, and then you can get back into safety. He might tag you slightly in the shoulder, but it's not gonna kill you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to peek too wide. You want to like if you're going for info, you just want to do like a nice little quick peek, just see if he's there, and then you hop back. Now you know he's there, and you can pre-fire that corner, right? So you can just right like that. and you can hopefully get the kill off without him being able to shoot you again or at all.
Okay, and that's called jiggle peeking?
Yeah, I don't know if that's... I believe that's the correct way to call it. So it's like, if you're not going to jiggle peek, let's say you suspect he might be there, or you suspect he might even be like closer, like right here. You don't want to slow walk that, right? This is still a pretty close angle here. You want to make him have to adjust his crosshair to you, because that's going to leave more room for error for him to have to like react, right? So you can come out and you can wide swing it. But you don't want, like, another thing you want to be careful about is you don't want to go right where his crosshair is and then stop.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, even doing this and shooting is better than slow walking out and shooting. Because you want to, like, like, when you're pushing into new territory, you want to be quick, you want to gather information, and you want to leave your opponent as little time to react to you as you can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that alone will really help me.
Yeah, I have a couple videos I can send you on. I have a lot of videos I can send you, for being honest.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
So that was one thing that stuck out to me the most that round was, well, besides crosshair placement. I will say that crosshair placement is the most important thing in this game, in my opinion. Most people don't have good crosshair placement up until into like maybe plat. I would say getting closer to diamonds. And even diamonds have pretty bad crosshair placement really often.
Oh well.
Okay, we're doing the same thing.
And that was another thing I wanted to touch on was when you're pushing into new territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try to use your util to make it, at the very least, an even fight, or if better yet, make it an unfair fight. You want to try to make sure that you're always taking like fights that are clearly in your advantage, right? So in this case, like, you didn't, like, it's round 2. You don't really have a lot of utility to use. Well, you could throw your camera around the corner. It's not usually something I would do, really. So I'm not going to fault you for that, but there's just something to keep in mind is, like, you want to use your util to gain new territory. You want to make sure you're always using your util to get something out of it, right? And a big part of that is going to be using it to take territory.
Okay.
I'll yeah.
I think I feel like sometimes Cypher is expensive,
Yeah.
so I like second guess myself if I want to use it or not.
He can be. I think you might find it better, like, if you try to prioritize, like, that you're getting value out of the util you're using, you might find it a little bit easier. Like, that crosshair was good. This crosshair here is good because you're expecting them to teleport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even that cage is, like, still good. Like, you're setting yourself up for,
I think I hear someone
like,
on
preventing
the
a
side.
flank, right? So
Yeah.
right here. Oh wait, Jet died on the right there, and there was another one there,
Someone
huh?
TP'd.
Oh wait, no, that's a
I'm
different
gonna
run I'm
take
thinking of.
someone on the side.
That's
So-
another thing. Pay attention to my map.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. I feel like I'm particularly good at it only because I've played a lot of StarCraft 2, and watching the minimap is the majority of the game. I don't think there was anything you did particularly wrong here.
I think I hear someone on site.
Like, you see your teammate gets into a fight there, you come up to back them up, like, which is perfect. You always want to be trying to trade kills with your teammates, especially on attacker side. Just to touch on it really quick, like, when you're playing attack, your goal or your focus is going to be, like, yes, you want to get the bomb down, but in order to do that, you're going to be more focused on trading kills, right? So you have your entry fragger go in, and they're going to either get a kill or they're going to get information, and you're right behind them so that you can act on that information. So you see Raze gets in a firefight there, and you came right up to, like, back her up, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. And then here, like, I don't think that was anything particularly wrong. Maybe just, like, better mouse control might help there. But I don't think there was anything, like, particularly wrong there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Someone TP'd. I'm gonna take.
And by the way, if you feel like this isn't helping, or if there's that like you have questions or anything, don't be afraid to like speak up. Like
Oh no,
I'm
it's
here to
helpful.
help.
I'm trying to take notes at the same time too.
You're also welcome to message me anytime when you have more questions or anything. Just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna light by
Oh, there
here.
was one thing you talked about, walking cat. I've only heard that being used like as catwalk on Ascent. So is that just like a short?
Yeah, a short. Sorry, there's
Okay.
so many different names for this. It's like people call it
Here.
mid, call it a short, call it cat. Like it. People call outs in this game are still really wonky.
Yeah.
So for round 3. No, that was round 3. We're going on to round 4 now. I had marked down like getting value out of each abilities. I did want to ask you about your like your sensitivity settings for your mouse and for in-game.
Oh yeah. It's 800 DPI and then I'm 0.6, I think.
Okay. That's not too bad. It may help to like try bringing it down a little bit. You don't have to bring it down a ton. Like whatever's comfortable for you. If that's comfortable for you, then like keep using it. Don't listen to anybody else trying to tell you, oh, that's too high, you need to bring it down. Like, I would suggest trying it out. Like, for me, my DPI is at 450, and my in-game sensitivity is at, like, 0.76, I think. 0.84. So, like, don't be afraid to, like, mess around with it and try out different things. Especially, like, because the lower it is, the more precise your mouse movements are going to be, right?
So should I change the DPI or the sensitivity?
It, honestly, for the most part, it's really not going to matter. It's just...
Okay. So
yeah.
just adjust one and see what fits best.
Yeah, right. Like there are going to be some people who are like really up in arms about it, but ultimately that's not really going to matter unless you're looking at it from like an engineering perspective.
Okay.
Play passive and then play
So
off
I
picks,
think
I guess.
for round 4 here,
Yes, this should
trapwire is good. I think you throw a cage here, which felt a little odd.
I think I was trying to trick them like, oh, we might push this way, but then we
Right.
ended up going. But yeah, that's kind of a waste.
Yeah, it felt weird. Because even if you're trying to trick them, that cage isn't threatening any territory of theirs, right? They may not even see it, or be like watching it. So
I
it's
got Omen 101.
if you want to fake it, it might be better off for you to like go like push up to outside hookah and then throw the cage inside hookah and then activate it.
cage trigger.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Because if it's like if you want to fake something with util, you need to have it so that the util is actually threatening territory they control. Like right there, they probably didn't even actually control that territory, unless one of them had like pushed up out hookah, which I don't think I saw any of them do that throughout the match.
Okay.
I got Omen 101. He was on top of the wall, and Sage was there as well. I have the spike. Oh, never mind.
I think yeah. So this like coming up here, I feel like you did particularly great, right? Like your crosshair placement is a little low, and then there's gonna be like a lot of vertical movement here. I think, maybe it was after, but like right here, this is a good job. You come around, get the kill. Potentially,
Nice. He was on top of the wall.
you could.
Sage was there as well. I have the spike.
Yeah, I think that was the vertical movement up and down there a lot that I was talking about, which wasn't really important in the grand scheme of things. But you just want to try and make sure that, like it's always head level. And actually, on that topic, can you see my cursor?
Yeah, I can see it.
Head level. There's a lot of lines around the map that you can kind of use as a reference. For example, these boxes, head level perfectly. If you line up this line, your crosshair right with this line, you'll get a headshot.
Oh, okay.
So if you're having trouble with crosshair placement, like everybody in this game does, look for those things you can use as a reference, right?
Okay, I'll look out for those then.
Yep. And then so you come up here, you're pushing. Crosshair could be... So one thing that's a little that scares me, right, is you're pushing up here, right? You're going to be exposed to anybody that pushes out here, or if they're holding like this close angle right here, and then anybody on the right here, anybody on site, anybody in this like far right corner, anybody in heaven, anybody on that's like might be sneakily on top of truck. So you ideally you'd have somebody use util to like block this off. You like if you had a cage, you could throw a cage in there, and you can like cover off this side, so then you only have to worry about everything over here, right? As you're coming around this corner, your crosshair was initially like right like at the edge here watching that way. And this is obviously it's like really close. It's hard to properly maintain placement as you're going around the corner so close. But you come around, you're gonna get the kill on Omen, which is great. And then right here, this may not have been on purpose, but this is exactly what you need to strive for, right? It's the boombot's going in, it's going to get the kill on, like, it's Sage has to stop this, right? Or she's gonna die. Or at the very least take a lot of damage. And you come around and you act on it and you get the kill right there, right? And that's perfect. Like, playing off of the abilities and the util you use to like force them out of position or force them out of being able to react to you is exactly what you need to do.
Good job.
I think here... Yeah. Wait, is this the right... Am I looking at the right round? So you got the kill there. Your team's pushing onto site to secure it, right? It's risky. You have a 4v3 too, so you have the player advantage. It's risky for you to push into lamps right now because there could be somebody else in there. You don't have any information if someone's there or where the rest of the opponents are. And you don't have anybody here on your team to back you up or to like trade the kill either, right? Excuse me, sorry. So it's like it's risky to push into here. And on top of that, you just switched a weapon, right? So if somebody was standing right here, you wouldn't be ready to shoot them.
Okay.
And it's also like you don't necessarily need to take this territory either right now because you're going to get the plant down, right? And once you get that bomb down, a planted bomb is basically like another player advantage, and it basically turns into like a 5v3. So it's like just be careful about like that kind of plays into risk evaluation, right? Like what am I going to gain out of this? What can I potentially lose out of this? So pushing into lamps like that, you gain control of lamps and you can hold this angle if you want to. And even that's more territory they have to push into, again, exposing yourself to like more places where the opponent could be and could shoot you. But if you lose that player advantage, and then it's down to a 3v3.
So if I don't push into lamps, do I just like guard that entrance and then
Pretty
tell
much,
my teammates? Yeah. Okay.
And like you could throw a tripwire there and make it so like they have to push or destroy that tripwire, and then immediately you know they're there.
Oh, okay.
And this is something like I struggle with this a lot, is my risk evaluation. Like being in the moment, being able to realize what am I risking to potentially gain.
Yeah.
And I'm awful at that. Like, don't stress about it like that. I'm abysmal at it. So.
I don't know where to go.
So right there, I think you had. You heard him coming for like a second or two, right?
If you want, you can smoke.
So you hear the footsteps like right here. So you know there's two coming from CT. Instead of like pushing out here, a better option would be like you hold up in this corner right here, or the one back, like the other one. I would prefer the one further back just because it's like you're less exposed. Because it's like if they come around the corner here, you have nothing to retreat into easily. If you're back at the other one, it's like there's a small section where you can see them, but that's a smaller section that they can shoot you. And they don't know you're there yet. So you want to try and play that angle, right? Because when you come out here, in order for you to shoot this jet, you had to stop moving. She just kept shooting and missed every single one of her shots, right? But in order for you to shoot her, you had to stop moving and then you had to like aim, right? If you just hold the angle and wait for them to come to you, you don't have to worry about all those other factors.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then kind of part of the positioning there is you want to limit yourself to how many enemies you're exposing yourself to, right? So even, let's say, if you're still in the doorway, the Reyna wouldn't be able to see you. She would just see Jet getting shot at from U-Haul. So she might not have been able to save Jet there. You might have been like gotten the kill on Jet. So another thing to keep in mind is like you always want to try to position yourself to where you're limiting the number of fights you have to take at once to one. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I hear that a lot. Like, don't expose yourself, or make it like a 1v1, not 2v1.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Player standing.
You got it.
Seconds left.
I can maybe op, but we should split.
I think for this one, so it was a little bit late getting out of spawn again. Putting up tripwires to try and catch any potential flanks that are coming, and I think you do for this round actually. I like that you use your cam here to check this because they did have time to actually push out of there and gain control of that little lobby area there.
Mm.
So I think like checking right there is smart. That was good. In an ideal world, like you would have been like there at the start, and then you can use the camera to like check inside hookah, right? So like
Yeah.
you can throw your camera right up on this wall and quickly spin it around. You can see anybody that's in hookah right there.
Would you have picked up that camera again and then done that, or?
So I like ideally you wouldn't have used that first one in the first place, right? But that was
Okay.
just because you were like everybody was laid out of spawn and they had time to take control of that, right? So if the start of the round, you're right here, right? They can't, like if they go to try to take control of this, you just pop them in the head, right? So then you come up here, you might try to just like jiggle this, get info if they're there and holding this angle. If they're not, okay, you can kind of start to take control of this, and then you just throw that up there. Gonna swing around in there quick, just check everything. You don't see anybody in there. Now you know hookah's clear, and you can push into it, and you've only used your camera, which you can just pick right back up. And you don't even have to, because especially if you do get into sight and get the bomb down and everything, you guys don't have to play hookah. You can wait for them to come into hookah. You can just pop the camera out, tag them, and then just wallbang them, because these walls are both very spammable.
Oh, okay.
Any questions so far or anything?
Not really. I think your notes really helped.
Okay. A lot of these things too is like it's better like try to focus on one thing at a time. Like you can take these notes and pick one thing out every time you go to play and be like, this is what I want to work on. Whoops.
Yeah, I think main thing so far is the crosshair placement.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing in the game, and everybody screws it up. Unless you're like high immortal. Everybody below that, terrible crosshair placement, myself included. So you had a good kill here onto Sage. You took a bit of damage, but I think maybe if you had used your camera inside here, if you were there at the start, you used your camera inside hookah, you would see the Sages in there, right? And then you can try and tag her quick. Or at the very least, she would shoot the camera and you would know she's in there. And then she, like, your crosshair was like a little low, so you know, again, head level, get those headshots. Headshots are always what you want to aim for. Right there, after you get that kill, the decision to push forward was very risky. Like, you can see Reyna's already back here. She's already, like, checking. It might be better for you to just, like, fall behind the box here, wait for Sage to come give you a heal, or just give up this territory altogether and go get a heal from Sage, since you have two teammates, like, over here already. So it's like, you don't necessarily need to die to hold on to this territory.
Okay.
And then, like, the ult Ult was good,
Good kill.
just because it tells you where the other 4, but pushing up like this was very risky, and it didn't gain you much. It didn't have potential to gain you much. And then, like, they know you're behind this wall. They should have been spamming it like crazy, and you should be dead. Like, the fact that they didn't was very lucky. And then also, like, just right at the end there, it's like, Jet has a rifle. I don't think you would have known until you stepped out there, but she has a rifle. I think it's safe to say that she has one just because it's they've won the last 4 rounds, so it's like she's going to have a long range weapon, and you have an SMG, so like she should win those battles. You're at a disadvantage, so that's like a fight you don't want to try and take.
I'll come back on.
Okay, yeah. I think for me also like learning when to push and when to wait for teammates.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to do that when you're with people you don't normally play with. Or like if you're solo queuing, it's difficult to really have good teamwork with people you've never had the opportunity to build teamwork with before.
Mm-hmm.
My recommendation is, especially if you're not playing an entry fragger, you can use your Cypher abilities to gain information, right? Like your camera. You can gain a lot of intel with that. But besides that, let your entries entry and then follow them up. Like, try to trade them if they die.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cool. Yeah, we can. Okay. And I don't think they would.
This
get
is
rid of
round
that.
6.
This is where I jump out the window.
Yeah, I didn't have this is the one I was thinking about earlier. I didn't really have a lot of notes for this one. Like that camera, it gets you some value, you know no one's watching that angle, but you can have Raze throw her boombot into the hallway and bounce it off, and then that angle's clear. Then you can throw your camera into hookah and you can see the other side that the boombot didn't get. But that's kind of like a teamwork thing. That's not really something I would expect with players who haven't really played together much. Again, trap wires might be a little high. Like they might be able to crouch underneath it. I'm not sure, but like it's good. You're setting yourself up to like stop any potential flanking, or at least to alert you to it.
He likes that hubby.
I'm surprised Arena didn't die there. So right here is just like a case of risk evaluation, right? It was really ballsy of Race to just jump out like that. Like, you don't know where anybody else is. You don't know who else is on the site. There's 2 other people there. One of them is super close. So, like, in the first place, Race shouldn't have jumped out the window there. She ulted. She didn't get the kill. And then she got a little greedy. And then it's kind of like the same thing here. Like, you can jump up on this windowsill and you can get the kill without jumping out. Because even jumping up here, you're still exposing yourself to a bunch of other angles that you can get shot from. And you hear some of them shooting before you even jump up here.
Oh, shit. Damn. I should not have jumped.
And then, like, immediately after, you're like, I should not have jumped.
Yeah.
So it's like it's easy to like point it out after the fact. It's hard to do it in the moment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it helps a lot reviewing this with you after.
Yeah. I generally have alts that I use where I specifically force myself to slow everything down before I make any decision or I take any action. I have to look at the state of the game and then ask myself, what do I potentially gain by doing this, making this decision, and what do I potentially risk losing?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Don't push out. I'm gonna leave box.
So this tripwire is a little odd to me. Like I get it.
Yeah,
I get like the idea of like you're trying to stop a flank, but it doesn't seem as likely to catch somebody to me. Like it's better to have a tripwire like in link here somewhere, or maybe over like for somebody coming out of bathroom.
Mhm.
So using your cam there feels like it's not really gaining that much more value because Sage has already pushed this corner and she's holding it, right? Like, so she knows there's nothing there. I did want to show you because I feel like there were a couple times where you used a camera that you couldn't get like as much value or as much like vision out of it, but when you're on assault, you can place it halfway up cat and you can get vision of like all of sight. It's like here you can place it safely like there. That's not it. I think it's a little too far. But you can see a lot of, you can see default there, you can see if they're in this back corner and watching the angle. You can see a little bit of here. So like that gets you 3 more angles versus when you placed it up here, just the one that Sage was already looking down. Or rather,
Okay, so
not
since
just the
she
one.
pushed, yeah, so since she pushed, it would be like just getting more information before she goes further.
Right, yeah.
Cage triggered.
So like not a huge deal there. It's just like trying to figure out how can you always get more value out of your abilities.
Someone's also on site? Oh, okay.
I think
I think
Crosshair was a
I'm gonna-
little like over a wall when you're pushing up here a bit. A little bit low.
This isn't a perfect wall.
So yeah, just
I
want
hear
to try and
people
make sure
coming
you
from
have
CT.
like always trying to be at head level where you expect them to be next. Check those corners. I don't think you checked it again this round.
You're good, you're good.
I don't think they've actually played in that corner at any point. So
shoot.
I think you hear them like slightly before.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, so you hear him running up, like even like a second before now. You hear him running up. So like the angle you're at, it's like it's fine because you don't want to make a lot of noise and you want to make sure you like get the kill right. Your crosshair is. So when you're holding an angle, there's a couple different things you want to consider, right? Do you mind if I go on a tangent on angles for a moment?
Oh no, I don't mind.
So you're right here, right? And your crosshair is here. The opponent's going to be coming from right here, right? Your crosshair is down here. So when he pops out, you have to swing over and shoot. Ideally, you want to have it like head levels like probably right around here, right? Actually probably there. And one thing I see a lot of people do is like, okay, well, I want to have it where they're going to appear next, right? It's going to be right here if that's what you want. They're going to appear right here, but you're not going to be able to react that time. So you want to hold it a little bit out. If they're running, you want to have it like out here. Even if they're like slow walking, you probably still want to have it out here just because they can quickly wide swing this before you can react. So you want to have it a little bit out here, and they do slow walk. It's easier for you to quickly adjust and shoot a guy slow walking around the corner than somebody who trying to be here and have to adjust for somebody who's swinging out, right? Especially when you go to start holding closer corners. Let's say you're holding right here and somebody's going to be coming over here, right? And they're going to be holding like this farther angle, right? Do you know how angles work in terms of distance?
Well, I think I looked up the peeker's advantage. So like the farther you are from the angle, you'll see the other person if they're closer before they see you.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So like if you're in this corner back here, they're not going to see like they're going to see you before you see them. So it's like if I'm coming in a bathroom and I want to clear this corner, I'm just going to very slowly like edge up here and I'll see them peeking out. Like I'll see like the edge of them right here and they won't be able to see me. And then I can just pop around and like headshot them really quick. So when you're playing a close angle right here, this actually isn't how I wanted. This is the scenario I set up here is the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. What I wanted to say was if it's a close angle and like let's say they don't have this farther advantage, let's say they're like here and it's like still pretty close. you don't want to slow walk around here, right? Because you're just going to come right into their crosshair. You want to wide swing this so they have to swing around and hit you. So instead of just being like this, they have to be like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's always trying to like do the opposite, not opposite, but like you want to not do what the opponent's expecting, and you want to make them have to react to you more than you have to react to them.
Okay, yeah. I need to write that down.
So it's pretty much just like if your crosshair replacement was a little better, easy kill. He just walks right into your crosshair and you just click on his head. Super easy.
Yeah, we could maybe. Yeah.
Where are you? Oh, this is a nice spot.
Cage trap again, like just a little bit odd. I think you can get better value out of it.
Oh.
That crosshair is good. Like it'll catch anybody coming out from like those two sides there. Like they can go around it, but it's like not really gonna. More often not, they'll come through here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay.
What the heck? Why didn't it? Okay, cool.
The hunt begins.
Oh yeah, Jet, can you come plant? Or
I-
give me the bomb.
It is so
Oh,
unfortunate
you can
that
run
Jet
over
doesn't
Jet.
know how to plant the bomb.
She's still there.
Yeah, we were telling her how
You
to, but
have
I
to do
wasn't
it
sure
in
if
the
she was
line.
just ignoring us because she was so nervous or she just
Right.
really didn't know.
Oh yeah, one thing I did actually want to ask about was like it sounds like you have a mic when you're playing this, but I didn't hear you making a lot of callouts or anything.
Yeah, I'm so used to not playing with my mic that I forget to, or I just feel like I
Gotcha.
might call out the wrong thing. I think it's just me being nervous and feeling like my info will be wrong.
Oh, don't be nervous. Seriously, communication is such an essential part of this game, especially when you start getting up towards higher ranks. Like communicating and calling things out and working together is a massive part of this game. And that's what like really makes or breaks teams is the ability to call out what's happening, what you're seeing, what's going on around you, where you see the opponents, what abilities they're using and stuff. And then being able to act on that information, your teammates being able to act on that information, you being able to act on their information. So it's like a super important thing that would be worth investing time into, like practicing, because call outs and practicing call outs it's something you need to work on. Not like you, just like everybody should work on that. Like my team currently, like this week, we've been spending hours going over the maps and making call outs and recognizing call outs for like all these little corners and cubbies and things that aren't actually listed.
Oh, that's cool.
So like information
Yeah, I'm trying to
is
work on
super
that.
important.
So
I just ate and it's like got me back up and I keep burping. Sorry. So your team is like pushing on a site
you
here.
can
They
run
got
over
the
Jet.
site walled off.
she's still there.
No one's like really using any util or anything to block this off. Ideally, you would want to have like util or something to either block this off or to discourage people from pushing, right? But like nobody uses anything, so it's good that you push this. You could even use that cage, throw it right in there, and just completely block it off so they don't push. But it's good that like you saw no one was there watching that, and you pushed up to like handle it.
You have to do it in the
Pushing
line,
into this
so,
is risky. Because your team has a bit of control here and they can get the plant down, there's not much need for you to actually push into here. But like even just getting up to this point, like it's like I think okay, it's acceptable. You kill Arena, which is great. You have 6 bullets, you're 33 health. I think Sage still has her heal. Pushing into here is not going to get you that much, but you're risking a player advantage in a 5v4, and then nobody's like holding this angle. right? Because Jet's over here, Sage is over here, Omen and Raze are going around the bathroom. So it's like it's very risky. And then when you pop around, Omen's right there and kills you. It's like a
I
situation
think I
like
always
that.
thought like I had to make sure I had to clear all of A, including lamps. But now I know I just need to like watch it.
Right, you can just like once you get the territory you need to get the bomb down, you don't need to take any more. You don't have to push any further. You don't even have to kill the opponent. You just have to prevent them from defusing the bomb.
Okay. Omens and U-Haul.
I think I went a little too far.
So. Oh, she's there.
So I think I had marked down like you get good damage onto Jet here when you come around the corner. I think that was another case where it's like you want to like either jiggle peek or you just want to like swing it and try and get the damage down there instead of slow walking around and giving them like more time to react. But you did get good damage done onto there. And then Ray's gonna push forward, Sage is gonna wall, right?
Well.
So you guys immediately are like, okay, we can teleport, right?
They're all there.
It's like, oh, you can rotate, you can go through the teleporter, and it's like, okay, yeah, you start going. Everybody teleports. And then there's a couple times where you like start to slow walk here.
Someone's gonna be flanking, so.
It's like they already know you're going, so in that case, like you don't want to slow walk. You want to just get out here. You want to get the bomb down, and you want to like get into an angle that you can hold. I like the idea of what you're doing here, but you're gonna turn this corner and there's like 2 people right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to hold that, you can hold it from like playing off of this angle here and like the other box, the triple stack, right? You don't have to come out here because out here you're like completely exposed. There's 2 people there and you have no cover to duck behind. And then you get sprayed down. So it's just kind of like positioning and not taking more risk than you have to.
Good try.
Okay.
It's like, here, let me, since we're over here and I'm throwing cages everywhere, you come up over here, right? Like you run over here and then there you're exposed. If you want to hold that angle, you can come right here. You see them popping, like coming through, and you can kind of like retreat a little bit, hold an off angle, retreat a little bit if they start pushing out. Like you can just kind of continually give up territory until like you have to like stop them. But it's like you don't have to always like run towards them and stuff, and like you don't have to always get the kill, I guess is the way I want to phrase it.
Okay. It was interesting how you moved around the truck. Like I didn't even think like I could do that.
Oh, like kind of like giving up territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of them may go like lamps, and then it's like, okay, I can't safely like focus on this fight anymore. Throw cage out. Now you can focus on this fight right here, and even that you don't really want to take that, so you can just kind of wait for them to push here, and then you can kind of keep retreating into cover as much as you can and make them have to push into you, especially once you have the bomb down. They have to take the initiative to defuse the bomb. So like they have to push into you. You don't have to push into them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Yeah, they rotate really, really, really fast. Well, you said that Brim holds shower, right? You could kill him real quick.
That goes there.
Okay.
Trying to remember what this round was.
Do you see anything?
I think it's one where I killed
There he
2
is,
people
nice.
in lamps, but I was like trapping
Okay,
the
I'm coming up
omen when I was
short.
shooting.
Yeah, that's right.
Heaven.
So I like the trap there. Because you're going to be covering any potential flanks.
Watch you, Hall.
Crosshair placement's a little low. I like... Actually, I guess Omen didn't even know, right? Because I think Omen was looking in the other direction. Let's look at the
Watch you,
mini-map. Omen's pushing. Yeah, Omen just backs into U-Haul and never gets cleared. So good job for saving your teammate. Just like kind of keep the crosshair a little bit higher and then try to keep it like close to that corner as you're pushing around. And that's another thing, like when you're pushing an angle, like same as how you're holding, you want to have it to like where you can react, right? So you don't want to have it like right here. You want to have it like slightly off so you can hit them if they try to wide swing it or if they're like starting to push out. But when you're pushing this corner, you don't want to have it like over here because then you still have to like do that, but you don't want to have it like over here so then you're like kind of slowly catching your crosshair up. You want to kind of have it like that same like distance as you're going around the corner, right? And it's like it's hard. I've spent a lot of time just like walking around maps and trying to maintain like the crosshair at a good angle, right? So it's like you want to try to have it so it's that same little distance that you can actually react on. And then it's like when you just like the Omen's in the corner there and you're gonna come up and like
She's heaven.
Omen can't move at all basically except
Yeah, I
unless
know.
they
After
wanna,
watching,
yeah.
I'm like, I
got the
can't
Reyna
believe I did
of it.
that.
I do that too, don't worry
She's
about it.
behind the wall.
Remaining.
I've gotten Alex killed so many times in tournaments doing that. It's funny, actually.
Running.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
good. She's behind the wall.
And then
She's heaven.
even pushing that, like I think the bomb's down. You guys don't have to push that anymore.
Good job,
Like Omen
guys.
ideally can like they don't know Omen's there, so like Omen can stay there until she
heaven.
gets spotted and then run. But there's no need to like
I got her. I got the Reyna.
keep
of it.
re-peeking that when you know they're both there.
She's behind the wall.
Remaining.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
Especially here because it's like
Oh fuck.
4v1 becomes a 3v1. Gets another kill. I think she ends up winning this, right?
playtime.
Last
Yeah, at the
player
very end.
standing.
Yeah. So it's like playing to your advantage. Like you have a 4v1.
Nice.
Get into places where you can crossfire each other
Oh my
and
gosh.
trade each other if she does
The
get a kill
Reyna
on one of you.
scares me.
This is no sight. Advantage.
Good play, guys.
This should do.
Yeah.
I think this was the round where I said it was a little bit slow to rotate.
I don't know.
Hi.
Yeah. Oop.
Oh, he's on the box. Do you guys want to rotate out while we like?
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Ooh, nice. Good pick. Okay.
It's a good kill. You got a 5v4 now. Reyna ulted, so you know she's gonna be like being aggressive from some direction, right?
Yeah, they definitely.
And then you hear the Omen
That's probably
teleport.
onto A.
So you know he's teleporting from somewhere, and
Probably A,
because you
okay.
were pressuring A, probably you can make an assumption like it's probably
Right,
going to
yeah,
be towards
B's.
A,
Yeah.
Because they
And-
think we're there.
right?
Okay.
And normally I would not expect people to rotate from that, right? Because you just saw Raze. They only saw Raze. That's it. They don't know where the other four of you are. So the fact that they all rotated off of B is very surprising to me.
Okay. Everyone get on site.
And it's just like a little, you realize that they all rotate and that's a little bit slow to actually get onto site and take
Gosh,
control.
dang it, she's still there.
Good job getting a kill on Brim. You heard him take a couple steps, so you know he's there. So that's another case where it's like you don't need to push into him, especially because oh wait, no, you didn't have the bomb down yet. So again, because you know he's there, you know he's moving, you can hold that angle and wait for him to push into you.
Okay.
And then you get the kill, which is
I'm gonna
good job
wall
on
it.
the kill.
Press 4.
That was really
I keep
poor timing.
doing that mistake.
Yeah, that was really poor timing. That's I can't really say anything about that because it's really unfortunate. Like she just popped around at the exact right moment.
On 4.
10 seconds left.
And then Jet doesn't know how to plant the bomb.
Jet, can you hold down
Yeah.
4?
Sage is like, please just press 4.
Yep.
One enemy remaining.
Dang it. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Get a drop?
My thanks.
How do I give you guys a phantom?
And then this one, I think you had good reaction because your tripwire gets broken here.
We can just play for picks. Brim is A.
That's just me shooting into the smoke.
Unavoidable.
My gosh, she peeked me so fast. I was so scared.
Sorry.
Yeah, we
Tripwire destroyed.
go B. What was that?
So
Oh,
it's-
okay.
No,
Oh.
someone's flanking a market.
So you reacted to it. Your Sage didn't really know, but you were ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Reyna's probably still on B side.
Yeah, she is. I might go long to see if I can see if she's in
Oh,
cubby.
she's on
Oh,
A.
she's on A.
We're on
Bet.
B
Yep.
side? Oh, there's one back
Oh,
side.
is someone there?
I think I actually had my
I can,
notes
slow
slightly
it.
wrong.
Yeah,
I'll wall elbow quick.
Okay, Reyna's
But so like Raze is running here, right?
Yeah, she is.
So
I
like
might go long. to
anybody that's within range of her is gonna know.
see if she's
So
in
like you
cubby.
don't
Oh,
have to
she's
slow
on
walk
A.
all that way.
Bet.
You can
Yep.
just keep running because she's running and
Oh, is someone there?
get onto site quicker.
Yeah, he's
I can
Okay.
slow it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll wall elbow quick.
And then plant? Oh, marking
Yep.
it.
30 seconds left.
And then here, like you hear the gunshots, you know Brim's there. Especially in cases where you know your opponent is like right there. Try not to rely on your abilities. Like your gun is always going to be your bread and butter. So you want to make sure that you have your gun out and ready, and like you have the crosshair was like a little bit off.
30 seconds left.
And this is also like a difficult angle to hold, right?
Dang it.
Ah, behind.
Last two are elbow, just stop for time. Stop for time.
Last player.
Okay.
I'll put a trapwire in bathrooms.
And then I was curious because you do this camera like 2 or 3 times, right?
That goes there.
I think I just don't know the right one, so I need to practice it. Cause I usually play Sova, but I'm trying to play Cypher more.
Right. So I'm actually, for my team, I'm going to be switching to our Cypher main. So I'm still kind of learning the cameras myself, but like when you're putting it here, you don't see anything behind this box, right? You can only see when they're peeking around this corner. So they're a slightly better option. You can come up here and you can jump, you can get it like right there. And it's like it still blocks off a bit of it, but you can kind of get a little bit more of a view of like what's going on here.
Okay.
I personally don't like that one a lot. If you're on this side, you can do that, and you can, again, it's like it blocks off more, but at least you can see if anybody snuck up behind this box. You can see anybody below you. Let's just say hypothetically, if you have your cam over here, right, and your ally that's playing hookah isn't peeking out, they can come out here, they can sneak all the way up here, and you'll have no idea they're right behind this box.
Oh, okay.
You can also do, if you want to play like a lot safer, you can do something like way back here, right? You can watch from all the way back here, and that's going to get you almost the same value that the one you had over here is going to do. You also can see bathroom, you can see like most of the site, you can see if somebody's coming like in hookah through this little angle here. You can even be super sneaky and get it all the way back there. That's too high. And, like you can still see
Oh, I see.
quite a bit. There's a bunch of videos that you can find for like finding cam spots and stuff. Like there's some sneaky ones, like you can come in here like right off the bat and you can where is it? It's like right in here. Okay. All right. the basic, like, you can get a, okay, all right, sure. Now it works. But it's like you can do sneaky stuff like that, and you can see anybody coming through bathroom here. Like, especially if you want to start playing, like, Cypher, like, there's a lot of, like, sneaky spots you can do. I'm not actually too familiar with the cam spots on A because I don't usually play Cypher on A. I usually play it on B. Trap's good. You walk back, you're gonna play towards default. You're looking down your cam. You're playing like passive because you got 3 stacked on B.
I don't.
This is all good. I like this. Sage is a little close, but she's gonna go for the
You don't
wall.
see anything short, right?
No, I don't see anything A yet.
It's like I like that you guys are playing passive and like you're maintaining
shoot,
control
they're
over
right
A site.
I'm on the
Unfortunately,
way.
the enemy team goes for B. I think the rotate may have been. So hypothetically, the rotate was a little early because you saw one of them, right? Now you've seen a second one. You still don't know where the other 3 members
Yeah,
of the
Brim
team
is
are.
on the right.
And even now, it's like you still only see one. So the fact that
I
your
didn't think
entire
I
team
rotated
rotated
him.
over
Oh,
here is not
they're still there.
necessarily great.
I think because it was Reyna and she was like killing all
Jet's
of us,
still
so we're
there.
like,
Right.
ah.
Maybe Cypher go back for heal.
So that was just kind of that's like a hypothetical thing. I don't think it was anything to fault you for. I think it's just something to like keep in mind.
Okay.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Last player
And then there's not like I don't think there was like really anything you did wrong there.
30 seconds left.
Potentially, it would be better
Standing.
because you already have Sage there, right?
Jet's still
It might be
there.
better for you to like hold that angle at elbow instead of but like you were going to Sage to get a heal and then his Sage gets super late. I don't think there's really much more that you could have
30 seconds
improved on here. Just like crosshair placement.
left. Player standing.
Oh, shoot.
Like you know hook is going to be a little bit higher, right? So if anybody's around that corner, your crosshair is going to be at head level for them. So your crosshair is down low. It's like down here, and it should
I see.
be up here where Jet is.
Left. Last player standing. Point.
And then we got trips again. I think they ended up going B again. Oh, no,
They're
they do come in.
smoking
That's right.
here. Yeah, I hear a couple. I'm just gonna wall it for now. They're trying to shoot through it, I think. Yep.
Nice.
Ooh. Brim's 130. Hit 130.
So I feel like this was good. Like you got the kill there. It was a little risky, but I feel like that kind of would have been worth it just for you to get more info. But now that you got the kill on Brim, you have a 3v3. You know that they're on site. They know that you're there. So continuing to push out here, like they're going to be watching. They're going to be watching like here where you're coming from, and then you peek out. Omen's immediately ready for you. And like I feel like it looks like it's registering before it's even like shown that you died yet.
Yeah.
So like kind of this is an issue I have with or that Alex on my team has a lot is she's like a top tier entry fragger, right? Like her mechanical skills are superb, but she's very aggressive, and while that pays off a lot for her, eventually she just gets killed because it's like she keeps pushing into territory where the opponent knows where she is. So it's like you want to make sure that it's like you want to know where the opponent is, and you want to try and have an idea of what does the opponent know about us. Do they know where I am, and if so, are they watching like this angle I'm pushing, and is it safe for me to do this?
Okay, yeah, that's another thing I need to work on.
Same. And then Raze ends up clutching this, I think. And then we have next round. And I actually really liked what you were doing this round. It was just the timing was a little unfortunate, and the rest of your team died.
Okay. I'm gonna rotate real quick.
Okay, I'll wait a bit.
Dang.
No more.
Oh, good try, good try, good try, good try.
That who's good? Attack the Nice. Peek it to
So I like that you're
Shut it
pushing
too.
around. You're
Oh
gonna try
no,
and
how did
flank.
she get
You
there
know,
already?
I
Oh my
think you know
gosh.
that both of them are on site, right? So you're running up. If you're gonna try and commit to, or like if you're, I guess,
Player stand.
especially when you're flanking, you want to have an idea of like, okay, am I flanking loud to get there as fast as I can to help my teammate, or am I going to be slow walking and try to maintain my advantage of surprise? It's like kind of making a decision on what you're gonna do between those two, so that you're either like getting there as fast as you can, or you're maintaining your surprise advantage. Like in this, when you're running up here, you start to slow walk for a little bit, which didn't affect you that much, but it's like like when you're doing that over a longer distance, especially like let's say they had hookah walled off and you decided you were going to go along. It's like you're going over a longer distance. It's like if you slow walk some of it and then you run other parts of it, it's like it slows you down and you kind of get neither of them accomplished.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where were they? I think it's just figuring out which of the two to use.
Right. Usually if your team is actively in a fight, it's better to get there as fast as you can safely to back them up. If your team isn't in a fight but you know that like they're pushing onto site, it's a little bit better for you to try and maintain your advantage of surprise.
Okay. And I know I kind of ruined that because I tried to shoot at Reyna and I totally missed.
Yeah, but I mean, like you do good here, right? This is kind of a situation where it's like your aim could use a little work, like getting that crosshair onto the head. So it's I don't think I'm not gonna say like that's the reason. Like it was a 1v2. It turns into a 1v3 once they get the bomb down, and you're just in a very difficult situation. So you know where Reyna is, right? You don't know where Sage is yet. I think she's like over here, right? Or
she's like
in the
inside
container. Yeah.
with the bomb.
So jumping out is risky, but you don't really have much choice. You never check towards long. I don't know if you knew she was in sight still yet. And then like I think you played this pretty well, right? You start to defuse. I think you had time to get the half before one of them would have gotten here.
Yeah, I regret that.
Yeah. But even then it's like you got the half, but you would still have to deal with the Reyna that's coming. You did have a cage, so you could have like, especially it's like 2v12 or not 2v12. It's like you're at game point, use everything you have. Don't worry about the next round because there might not be a next round kind of thing. It's like throw your cage out there, make Reyna have to go through it, and make it so she, like it's harder for her to see you.
Dang.
Good try, good try.
So I mean, like I think you played that like really well, considering you're basically in a 1v3. Like those are hard to win. Usually, more often than not, you're not going to be able to clutch those. I'm not
I
going to be
get
able to clutch
confused.
those.
Is
Anybody
Reyna
will be able to.
invincible when she looks like that?
No. Reyna is that's when she's in her ult, and her E gives her like the little makes it so she's invulnerable temporarily.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, when she's in her ult, her E becomes invisible as well. When she's out of her ult, it's invincible. But it's only like when she uses her E, which lasts like a second and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so that covers all of the notes that I took down. Big things, like the biggest thing is always going to be crosshair placement. Like that's the vast majority of people in this game have awful crosshair placement, myself included, and that's the one thing that everybody needs to be working on because it's always the most important thing. If your crosshair is always in the right place, you'll never have to worry about flicking. You'll never have to worry about like forcing util out and get like having to worry about getting value out of your util as much. Like crosshair placement is the #1 thing people need to worry about.
And how would you recommend working on that? Just like always actively thinking about it and maybe going to custom matches?
Yes, exactly. If you have a friend, go into a custom with a friend, and then just go stand around different places on the map and get a feel for like where they are. Try to always be adjusting. I think like head level is like right at the top of this line here, like on these little vents. And try to always be like find places, things you can use as a reference, like on these boxes. It's like right here at the bottom of these little, like right, these little lines here. Like that's head level. The wood boxes right there, head level. You like try to find these things you can use as a reference. Try to get feel for them. So like usually when I'm playing lamps, right? At the start of the round, I'll come over here. Head level is like right at the top of this paper right here, right? So I'll come over here. I'll just get it lined up. And I'll pop back in, right? And I'll wait to see if they'll come to, like if I hear any noise or anything. And if I do, then I'm just gonna pre-fire that, right? Super easy. And if someone's standing there, and people very often stand there, they're just gonna get headshot immediately, and I get to pop back into cover completely safe.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I touched on this at all, but when you get to like as a part of peeking and just like aim in general is counter strafing. There was a big thing about like people saying that counter strafing isn't important in this game or it's not there, but it's like it's still there. Like I think like you do that or like you have to wait for you to stop, right? But if you're trying to like counter strafe around something, it's just you don't ever have to stop moving. You don't have to worry about it at all. It's like counter strafing is another thing to like potentially keep in mind and like practice in the range.
Okay, yeah, that's still something I'm trying to practice and use in game.
So like for that, and just like it's good for practicing like getting a better feel for like what's head level, right? You can go into the range, you can pick Sage. So then you're here. Just try and pop around the corner and make sure your crosshairs are hell. Like so, like I'm right here. I'm off. I'm gonna shoot them in their hands. I want to shoot them in their head. So like, just make sure like you can come over here, try and reset, and then you can practice like your counter strafing, right like that. You don't even have to do it with the wall. If you want to practice your counter strafing, like I'll frequently like come in here. And then I'll just...
Oh, okay.
And you can like do that and try to keep it in the same spots, or like I'll also spend some time doing
So
as you can
until...
see, my counter strafing is actually like really bad. What do you have any like warm-up routine or like something you do to practice your aim?
For me, well, I use Kovacs to like get used to the hand-eye coordination, just to warm up that part, and then I go into the range and I just use all the different guns and try to strafe around and shoot.
Okay. I remember I saw you put Kovacs in the student application thing. And I wanted to ask like how you're using, because I feel like a lot of people use it and expect it to make their aim better. Like their aim is just going to magically improve, but all that's really good for is getting the like familiar with, as you were saying, like just the hand-eye coordination and everything, and getting familiar with like the mouse, like the feel, how the sensitivity and everything. So it sounds like you have your right expectations for like what you're getting out of Kovacs or like aim labs is what I've been
Yeah,
using.
because I could tell it's like not exactly how it would be in the game. Like for me, it kind of
Right.
helps with like reaction time with like flicking around. But other than that, it's just like warming up, like clicking my mouse.
Yeah. Any other questions or thing you want to talk about or hear about?
If anything, I feel like you kind of touched on everything I need to work on, and I think it's just up to me to work on them uh like individually and not just be overwhelmed with trying to fix everything at one time.
Yep.
So I think crosshair placement for sure.
Absolutely. Start with that. That's the most important thing. And just like every time you go to play, even if you're not like playing comp, if you're just playing like something silly and fun with friends, try to pick out one thing and just focus on improving that. Like how can you do that one thing better and try to like maintain that throughout the entire night or just like for that match or whatever you're doing it for.
Yeah, I signed up for the tournament on Sunday for the lower ranks, so I really want to work on my crosshair.
Nice. I highly recommend if you have a friend that'll do it with you, go into a custom and just like walk around the maps, get a feel for like where head level is for these different angles that you'll be frequently holding. Like go into Haven, and there will be like you can have someone go into window, which is a common place, and you can kind of like just figure out where these different placements are. Like you can even check out the like the wall bangs for when the round starts.
You can take the girl out of Salvador, but you'll never
You know,
take
I
the
don't
girl
think I
out of
did.
Salvador. Wait. My ult's ready.
I love Race so much.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
So like,
Satchel out.
this is gonna be really annoying. Like it wasn't bad with Cypher Cage, but it's gonna be really pain in the butt. But like, just have like, if you have a friend, have him go stand in the window right there, and then figure out, okay, what's head level right here, right? And then just kind of practice peeking around, getting a couple shots off at him. Same with like going down C long. Same with them like
Satchel out.
going into a garage window. It's like, what's gonna be head level when they're way back up against the wall? What's gonna be head level when they're like right up here close, right? And get a feel for that. With the doors here, like head level, right below this line. These boxes, not really helpful here because, of course. These boxes, right here, it's head level. So find those things that you can use as reference, get ideas of where head level is. Just kind of always be thinking about, is my crosshair at the right place it should be?
Okay.
Here comes the party.
I think that kind of is like just how I've been going about trying to, trying to practice my crosshair placement is just constantly trying to think about it, find things I can use as reference. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like all these, you have a lot of lines, right, going all along here for head level.
Yeah, I think it's a bad habit. Like I bring my crosshair down because I'm trying to look forward and I forget I'm supposed to look through the crosshair.
Yep. I used to use like the actual crosshair, but I've recently switched to a dot and I like it a lot better. But that's just me. You're probably not going to get the same or feel the same way about it as I do. Crosshair is a very personal thing.
Yeah. But I think I will check the sensitivity because I think that'll help.
Absolutely. I mean, like I spent a while trying to figure out like, okay, where is it right for me? Like I started out a bit higher. I brought it high. Hello, so my cat is attacking me at the moment.
Oh no.
She wants attention.
Aw.
Oh my god. What was I saying?
Mouse sensitivity.
Yes,
you brought it down.
that's right. It started out like a little too high, that I brought it down like really low, and then it was like a little too low and I was undershooting things, and I brought it back up a little bit. Now I feel like I'm in a really good place.
Okay,
So
cool. Yeah, I think I
definitely
need to work on
experiment a
that.
little. Never noticed there was a There's a little thing here.
Oh yeah, I know. I just see it now too.
Anything else? I can show you, like here's, like I mentioned that I'm gonna be trying to make like video content for people like that is geared towards like teaching people the game and mechanics and stuff. Anything in here that stands out that you want to talk about?
If anything, I'll probably work on what you wrote in that doc because I get overwhelmed easily.
That's
But I
fair.
really like what you have for the document here because most videos on YouTube are like, oh, 10 things beginners need to know, but they don't really go into detail.
Right. All right, well, if you have any other questions or you want to go over something else, just let me know and I'll do my best I can to help.
Okay, for sure. This was so helpful. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. You're welcome. Yeah, just let me know anytime you need help with something or you have questions.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Cass. Bye.
Yep, have a good night.